Ready?
Hmm?
Hey everybody. I was asked to go through and create a video on how to use the snap bait system, which are a stainless steel clip and EPDM band. They go on a clam bag. They make it easier and faster to bait for using razor clams or any other bait. They can be used with a trout line, or they can be also used with crab traps if you want to. So basically what I have here is my setup of what I use. I have a rubber mallet, some 3/16 bungee cord, a pair of hog ring pliers, a pair of DeWalt hog ringers, which I'll show you later on attaching the bags to the line. Got some of Captain Bruce's heavyweight bags here. Obviously, if you're going to invest the time and the money into the snap bait systems, you're going to want to use the heaviest bag possible that is still flexible. I've seen some that are not flexible. So you want that. You'll need some hog rings. I like a stainless steel 14 gauge. This is a product I found online. It's a 1 pound box. I think they were like $9. 154353 is the model number. If you search that, you should be able to come up with it. I have a heavyweight towel, protects the counter, but also serves a purpose as we're putting the clip into the bag. And I have a block. Again, this is the way sort of I was shown by the inventor Steve. Not necessarily 100% the best way, but it's my way and it seems to work best, as well as I've tried to do different things. So essentially what you're going to do is start with the bag. I use a bungee cord. I have put a knot in one end. I like to burn the ends just so that they stay melted and don't fray up. So you're going to stick that into your bag. Then you're going to grab one of your hog rings. Place the hog ring just below the knot. So you grab the bag and the bungee. Cinch that down. Now I invert my bags, and the reason I do that is if the bungee was coming out of this end, this likes to catch on things, catch on the other line. So I invert them. It seems to work pretty well. Just flip that inside out. Okay. Now, if you've used trout lines before and you've used snood lines, basically you're probably used to seeing a snood about that long. The downside of that is it catches on everything. It wants to catch on your roller. It also likes to flip as it goes over your roller. What I found is because this stays attached to the line, you only really need about an inch, inch and a half. And the idea is just that it floats next to your line. The crabs grab onto it. They don't feel the main line. So now that you have your bag together, you're going to want to flatten it out. You're going to take your clip and you're going to insert it into the bag. Okay, and you want to get it evenly, roughly 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch across. Now here's where the towel comes into play. I take and I push down, and what that allows me to do is push the prongs through on both sides of the bag at the same time. Okay. Next you're going to take your band. Just stretch it out. What I found is if you take and stretch it, push down, and then let it loose. And you just want to make sure it's centered up on the stainless steel clip so that it's about even all the way across. Now you're going to take your bag and you're going to bend 4 prongs down, and then you're going to turn it and flex it and do it the other side. So just allows you to bend all 4 clips at the same time. So I've done one side. Now I'm going to do the other side. Okay. So now I'm going to just lightly tap these. You don't want to hit it too hard. You don't want to bend the clip. You just want to bend the prongs down flat so that they're not flaring out. Okay, so as you can see, all the prongs are bent over. If you get one that doesn't bend right, just take a small flat screwdriver, bend it back out, and a pair of needle nose pliers. So basically at that point your clip is installed. You want to separate your bag. Squeeze it about 3 times, and what that does is it resets the hinge so that it'll open when you squeeze the sides. Alright. I like to take my bags at that point and just sort of stretch them out. What that does is it creates a pocket for your clams to fall in here. That way you don't have them sitting right up against the clip. Again, the more flip or velocity the line gets as it's coming over your roller or around your winder, if the clams are sitting down here, that's when they want to fly out. Setting them up like this, I found I run a Castell winder, which is basically makes it easier on me when I'm pulling in a commercial length of line. 4,800 feet is what I typically use. You don't get the whip with it tied off short, and also it keeps clams right in here. Kill it. Okay, so now that you have your bags made, what you're going to want to do is attach it to your main line. This isn't actually the line I use, I'm just using this for demonstration purposes. But the goal here is to keep the snood line, which is your bungee portion, as short as possible. So typically what I would do is knot this off onto my main line. I like to run them every 10 feet and keep them consistent, so when I get a new piece of rope, I'll go through and mark it every 10 feet and then come back and tie my snoods on as I go. Now I pull that, cinch that down tight. As I said before, an inch, inch and a half is about all you need. I like to tie a third knot up in the line here, and that serves so that I can take and use one of the DeWalt Hall rings and just tighten that tag end down. That way it's not gonna, if this comes unknotted, I don't lose my bag. It also, if it gets hung up, it allows everything to slide. You would then cut this off and lightly burn it again, just so that it doesn't fray on you. That way, as they come through, the bag wants to just simply lay over as it comes across my roller and doesn't flip, creating a whip and thus trying to throw out the clams.